Yo, what is going on, you wobbly wormhole? Gonna be playing some games with Leafeon VMAX today. I was playing this the other day on the stream, like I say all the time. And by the way, if you don't follow the stream already, you should definitely go check it out. Twitch.tv/AzulGG. First link in the description. Give it a click. I play with all these decks that I bring to the YouTube channel, or almost all of them, over on the Twitch stream beforehand. So if you ever guys want to get a little bit of insight onto the deck building process and how the decks end up the way they do, I do a lot more of that deck construction stuff over there on the live stream, constantly changing up decks, talking with the chat about other things I think we could do different, or cards to include, or cards to consider, and so on. So yeah, go check out the live stream. First link in the description. So Leafeon VMAX, it's got the grass knot attack for, a grass and a colorless, and you do 60 damage for each colorless in your opponent's retreat cost, and we increase that with the Glare Mine. So against like a Shadow Rider, we can hit for 240 damage. And then we got the Max Leaf for grass colorless, 170, then heal 30. The healing usually doesn't come up too often where it actually matters, but sometimes it does. So that's nice to have as a secondary attack, I guess. What really keeps this deck consistent and flowing, it feels like, is the Leafeon V with the greening cells, which we usually only use once a game on our first turn, but that's a big deal to get that extra energy in play to help us keep tempo throughout the rest of the game and not miss any big attacks. Greening cells, once in our turn, we can search our deck for a grass energy card, attach it to one of our Pokemon, and then our turn ends. But getting that extra energy in play is a huge deal for how the Leafeon deck kind of flows turn to turn. I've been really surprised about how powerful the Leafeon deck is, to be honest. And we're pairing it with the Inteleon engine. We do have one Crobat in here to help us with some draw power, mid-game, late-game, early game, whatever it might be. Do have a Crobat in here. So, it increases our outs on turn one by a lot. So now any of these quick balls or the Crobat becomes a way to draw cards, which can be a big deal. But yeah, 4 Sobble, 4 Drizzle, of course, and we're really heavy on the quick shooting because it can really help us potentially or basically get like a one-hit KO on Pokemon. Like I said, if we got the Glare Mine in play and then we use the Grass Knot up against like a Shadow Rider, we're doing 240 damage. So 4 quick shooting pings later, that's a knockout. And we only had to attack it once potentially. So that's like what we kind of look for here, is setting up the Inteleons aggressively, the quick shooting one specifically. We do still have one of the shady dealings in here just in case sometimes we need to get 2 item cards, get a boss and a Glare Mine or something to close out a game or something like that. It's still nice to have this option, but the ones we're trying to set up aggressively definitely are those quick shooting Inteleons. The other cards to kind of talk about, we got one Snow Leaf badge in here to give us free retreat on our Leafeons. We don't play Air Balloons because we do have Glare Mine in here, so Glare Mine plus Air Balloons don't really combo very well, but we do play a couple switches. And then we play Tool Jammer in here to shut down our opponent's Air Balloons, so we make sure we're hitting hard with the Grass Knot. We don't want them to just have an Air Balloon on their dude and be like, all right, you're only doing like 120 damage or even less, or maybe nothing, because we didn't get our Glare Mine in play for the turn. So we got a couple Tool Jammers in here, shut down the Air Balloons, make sure we're hitting reasonably hard turn to turn so we can actually take knockouts, draw prize cards, and win games. And then besides that, straightforward, as always in the supported line, Marnie Research and some Boss. And then for the Pokemon Search, will be the basic standard line of Pokemon Search in any Inteleon deck, I feel like at this point. Quick Ball, Level Ball, and the Evolution Incense. And that's going to do it. That's the list. So let's go ahead and let's get into some games. All right, here we go. Getting into our first one. We did win the coin flip. Oh, another thing I didn't mention that I love to mention whenever it comes up is Capture Energy. Such a powerful card. So I love the fact that we can fit it so cleanly into this Leafeon deck, because the attack costs are grass colorless. That's the main attack we're using. We don't really use the Leaf Max or whatever it's called very often for the 170. But yeah, it is grass colorless, and it's super easy to get our grass energy in play with the greening cells. So all we got to do is find the colorless one or whatever and get that in play. And there's the Capture Energy off the top deck. So looking really good so far. Looks like our opponent is probably playing Eternatus. I'm going to go ahead and capture out a Sobble here. Take a quick look through. So we prize a Sobble. No Leafeon's prize. Keep going through. Got Evolution Instance in the hand. 2 Switch. 2 Glare Mine in the hand, I believe. Yep. Marnie. Prize of Research. None of that's prize. Prize of Grass Energy as well. Okay, I'm going to grab the Sobble here. And then I think I'll just go ahead and Green Cell. I don't want to put a Glare Mine in play to give my opponent the option to kind of just bump it immediately. So I think I'll hold on to that. But yeah, load up the Leafeon, get it ready to go. We got the Evolution Instance in the hand, so this can become the VMAX next turn. That's definitely what I think I want to do. And then we'll probably play the Marnie, play the Glare Mine as well. But yeah, super strong. Capture Energy is a ridiculously powerful card. And you want to be including in any deck that it fits well into, decks that, its energy cost kind of flows with Capture Energy. You can't just play it in, I don't know. I'm trying to think of a deck where it wouldn't work very well, but it works very well with stuff like Leafeon, or even like the Jolteon. Doesn't work very well with, it's really like escaping me right now, thinking of a deck that doesn't work very well with something like Regidrago or Sheesh. I mean, there's other decks out there. You get the point. There's other decks out there that doesn't work quite as well with. Yeah, we're up against Eternatus here. They got the Umbreon V down. They got the Eternatus V in play. They are playing Viridian 4, so we know they are playing a pre-rotation build, whatever. So I got the Jam, got the VMAX. I think I'm going to go ahead and just start with Crobat here. I don't really mind having a 2-prizer in play early on. It usually doesn't make too big of a deal. This is a pretty good draw here, actually. We get the attachment. Got the Glare Mine. They only have a 2-card hand, so I definitely want to go with a Researcher. And I really want to find some more Sobbles. Yeah, I really want to find some more Sobbles, get more of those in play. I want to get to that quick shooting as soon as possible, like I kind of mentioned. Yeah, definitely put the Glare Mine in play, and then Research. I could play the Evolution Instance. I don't think there's anything to grab here, though. Nothing I want to discard, right? Yeah, I just want to check, though. Yeah, a lot of decks can't play this very well, the Capture Energy, but the ones that can should always try and take... always try and abuse that, because it's just so strong. It's so ridiculously strong. You know, there's Sobble in play. Looking pretty good here. And then, yeah, Grass Knot, Knockout. Those first 2 prize cards, and we're already cooking here. We got the Quick Shooting and a Drizzile to go online next turn. A Leafeon VMAX at the prize cards is great. We still had one more in the deck, but getting it right here, right now is not... Yeah, that's not bad. Love to see that. And we'll see what our opponent does here. So, yeah, I don't really mind having the Crobat in play, because if we get down double VMAX, we're kind of just in a fine spot. We don't really care. This works out fine. Actually, Eternatus, I didn't even realize it has 3 retreat costs, so we don't one-hit KO it, but we get very close. So it makes it 2 quick shootings away. So we can get very close to a one-hit KO with a Glare Mine up against the Eternatus, actually. We get the Glare Mine out, and then we're almost one-hit KOing it. But my opponent has nothing going for them. And I could just go pick on this Umbreon if I wanted to. Yeah, terrible draw from my opponent here. And I kind of want to go pick on that Umbreon a little bit, because then they can't put anything else down. And it has 2 retreat costs, and it's weak to grass. Man, abusing grass weakness, I feel like, is something I've not done in a long time here. Yeah, I feel like it's been a while since I've been like, yeah, we're going to go take advantage of the fact that that thing is weak to grass. I feel like that doesn't happen anymore. Yeah, but I think I am going to go about it like that. We're going to boss KO. So I think I'm just going to grab... Oh, my second boss is prized, but we can actually just KO the active as well. I think I will just get this level ball to have an option of a Drizzile next turn. I just want this thing to be able to become an Inteleon potentially. So we did it like that. And then, yeah, quick shooting this thing, boss, and that way we can boss in a Crobat, but we should be able to also knock out this as well. But yeah, we can just take our time here. It also takes away the option of an Umbreon VMAX next turn. It's like my opponent top decks a Sycamore or a Crobat. Couldn't top deck Quick Ball there because they have no cards in hand, so there'd be nothing to Quick Ball. But now we got the boss out of the prize cards, and we can get the... Yeah, it's just looking really good. Looking really good for us. And, yeah, I think it's going to be a dub. There's that research top deck I was talking about, though. But, yeah, it's been a while since I've taken advantage of something being weak to grass. I feel like that doesn't come up often or almost ever. But yeah, there's a dub. Beat the Eternatus in this first round. A pretty unfortunate draw from my opponent, but I've still got a decent amount of setup to go on our side, and it was looking good for us. Even I think if they had drawn a little bit better, a little bit more aggressively, we're still looking like we're in a really good spot in that one for sure. All right, here we go again, getting into another one. Yeah, just go first again. Hope for a turn 1 Leafeon. And then at least the Greeting Cells. We don't even need the attachment. That's another thing that's really cool about the Leafeon, and like why the deck actually feels so consistent. And it feels like a lot of decks can't quite match this deck's consistency. And I think that's what kind of keeps this deck, keeps it viable as like a deck. It's just so consistent. I don't even need an energy. I don't even have energy in this opening hand. I don't need an energy though, because I can just Quick Ball for Leafeon, use Leafeon's ability, and then put an energy on it for the turn. And actually, I find an energy next turn, which shouldn't be too hard, hopefully. But that's something that's so cool about this deck, and why I just like it a lot. We're up against the Mad Party, so getting quick shooting online, gonna be a big deal. Losing a Sobble potentially turn 1 sounds terrible, to be honest. I don't want to do that. I don't want to lose Sobble turn 1, but I don't think I really have a choice here. We do have 3 of them left in the deck. Gonna have to be fine with that, I think. And then, yeah, Green Cells. Get the energy. We didn't even have an energy for turn, but we're not behind on energy attachments because all we have to do is find one next turn, and then we're fine and good to go. So, yeah, love that about this deck. It feels like it's so consistent to that turn 2 attack, getting to the turn 2 attack, that you can whiff stuff like an energy attachment, but you're still going to get there as long as you got that Green Cells and find energy next turn. It just feels really good. Actually, one card I've thought about including in here to help, make sure you don't whiff the turn 2 attack is an energy search. I don't have an energy search in here right now, but I think it's definitely a good consideration. So if you guys feel like you've been whiffing energy when you're playing this deck, definitely consider adding that energy search, because that can definitely make a big difference there when your Drizziles and your Inteleon can help find those cards. But yeah, unfortunately, our opponent can maybe get a 1-hit KO on the Sobble here. Like I said, getting to that quick shooting is going to be our goal here. We want to be really, really aggressive with how we draw cards. They put down this Fion, and they're only using Bruno to draw cards here. So not a whole ton going on my opponent's side right here. Fion, I guess I'd have to choose if I want to send up the Leafeon or not. I'd probably just go ahead and push the Leafeon. But it looks like they whiff. We top deck an Evolution Incense. So we're going to get the Leafeon. And then we're also going to grab a Drizzile and probably grab a Switch, I think. And then we're going to leave the other two Drizziles open. I could chain one of the Drizziles out here. But just in case we don't draw super well off the research, I don't really want to do that. But maybe I don't need too much from the potential of Drizziles. Maybe I could chain out one of the Drizziles. No, I think I'm going to keep them open. I think I'll grab the Switch. I do need to hit Glare Mine or Tool Jammer. Let's go with the Switch. Switch here, play the research. Yeah, we do need to hit Glare Mine or Tool Jammer to shut down this U-turn board of my opponents, as well as an energy. Got the capture energy, got the Tool Jammer. Did not get any more Drizzile, unfortunately. Capture. Go ahead and grab. Sobble doesn't make a ton of sense. I could get the other Leafeon and just take this out of the deck. Sobble doesn't make any sense because we prize the other Drizzile as of right now, so I'm not going to do a whole ton to grab that out. Unfortunately, we didn't get a second Drizzile in play. That's what I was hoping wouldn't happen. That did happen. I could also have not grabbed anything, to be honest, there. If I don't grab anything, that does set us up a little bit better for using Crobat next turn, which I might go up down the route of using Crobat next turn. Actually, Max Leaf seems like it's pretty good in this matchup early on when they're not doing too much damage. And right here, they'll only be hitting for 60 if they attack this turn. So a Max Leaf to heal 30 could be the difference between a 2-hit KO or not. But yeah, I could have not put this down, just captured, you played the captured, got nothing, benched this. Because this way, when I go with Crobat next turn, I'd have like the space to work with. I could also feed my opponent a Sobble here if they do use Fion. But I probably want to send up the Leafeon V for them to just go ahead and hit. And depending on what my top deck is, I might do something different this turn. But yeah, we're really trying to get triple quick shooting online at some point to try and take double knockout turns at some point. Yeah. And there's the concede again. Or I guess my opponent didn't concede in the last one, but slow start. So I was talking about as far as the consistency goes, like we can do turn 2, we're attacking every single time, it feels like. Or more so than other decks. It just feels so consistent. Leafeon does. I mean, you saw in those last 2 games, my opponent's not trying as consistently. They're not Leafeon, though. We have less explosive potential and less options than a lot of decks, but consistency is sometimes king, and I mean, that's what keeps Leafeon in these games. All right, didn't win the coin flip this time, so our opponent's going to be going first, but that just means that we get access to a supporter for the turn, which, you know, hopefully set up some more Sobbles than we normally would, and maybe able to set up 2 different Leafeons with energy to help play around potentially. You know, if we put 2 energy on 1 Leafeon V, it could just get knocked out. Crobat start. Probably the worst. It is just the worst starter to start with. So, Crobat start, not good. But rest of the hand, pretty good. Got the quick ball, got the capture. Evolution Incense, not going to be able to utilize that. That might actually be our quick ball target here. Or we could quick ball away a Marnie. We'll see what our top deck is, of course. I think I'm probably going to quick ball away the Evolution Incense. But setting up, like getting through to our quick shooting and stuff. I mean, Evolution Incense helps so much into the Drizziles and then the Inteleons afterwards. So I kind of want to hold the Evolution Incense. I'm not sure what I'm going to go with here. And then they have the Mew in the active. And it looks like we are up against Rapid Strike Malamar. So getting triple quick shooting online is going to be our goal here. So we can KO stuff like Inkays or Remoraid's, or even the Mew if we wanted to. Just try and get extra prize cards turn to turn. Find some way to be able to pull off extra prize cards turn to turn. So that's going to be our goal. How easy we'll be able to pull it off is the question. I'm going to give it one of the Glare Mines here. I don't think it's going to be super important. So it looks like we prized a Drizzile, a Quick Ball, no Marnies, and a Capture Energy. Okay. I'm going to go get a Sobble with this, because like I said, we need to start setting up. And I'm not going to play the Glare Mine, actually, because we're going to use Green Cells here to attach the energy to the Leafeon V. And then we could potentially hard retreat the Crobat on the next turn. So we don't really want to take away that from ourselves. There's no reason for us to take that away from ourselves. So we're going to leave it open. Going to go ahead and grab another Sobble to get on the bench here. And then, yeah, going to go with that, the Greening Cells here. Get some energy into play. And we should be pretty much set up to attack next turn. And then I have this energy to put on the Crobat here. We can retreat the Crobat next turn. And then, yeah, try and get as many Drizziles set up as possible. Evolution Incense, grab the Leafeon VMAX and use this to probably grab a Research. We would lose 2 more grass energy there, but we didn't prize any grass energy, and there's still 2 left in the deck, so I'm not too worried about it. Should easily be able to start KOing Malamars or whatever next turn. They might not be able to get a KO here. We'll have to see. Losing a Spiral Energy there, but here comes the Octillery, and they don't actually have any of their additional support Pokemon set up if they play them. No Cincino, no Inteleon. Usually one of those is in this Rapid Strike Malamar deck. And I'm wondering if my opponent misclicked there and just by accidentally clicked done. But that could have been all they needed to do for their turn. There's not too much else they could have done, but they didn't evolve it either, which makes me curious. So attach there. I think I'm just gonna grab a quick ball is what I want to grab here for another Sobble, I think. Yeah, let's go for another Sobble because once again we're trying to get to the Inteleons as soon as possible to start spreading damage with those. I'll be able to retreat and knock out. And then, all right, got another Sobble. Level ball for the Drizzile. And use that we can get to the double Inteleons next turn. I'm going to probably go ahead and grab probably another level ball just to get out another Drizzile next turn. Or I could just go for an Evolution Incense action, go like double. Well, maybe I did want to go with that level ball, actually, the more I'm thinking about it. I kind of like the idea of the level ball. I think I should have gone with the level ball. And here we go, Grass Knot knockout. Now, we are getting this first knockout, and we're setting up pretty well, but up against Rapid Strike Malamar, I mean, they can just one-hit KO us this turn. There's really nothing we can do about it. So if they get that one-hit KO, we're going to be in trouble. And they've got a big hand. So I think it's definitely possible. We're just going to really have to hope that they don't get there. They do need quite a few cards. They need quite a few, but it's definitely doable. Here comes the Oricorio now. They're going to be able to draw cards with the Oricorio. And yeah, definitely possible. We're hoping it doesn't happen and that we can, keep this Leafeon alive for one more turn at least one more turn. We really need some time to potentially use Inteleon. So we need to buy more time here. And maybe even just give up the Crobat for a turn to buy a turn to get more quick shootings off. I don't play Reset Stamp or whatever because this is a post-rotation list. We are up against a pre-rotation Malamar here, which of course is going to put us at, like I mentioned, it's going to put us at like a little bit of a disadvantage to be playing a post-rotation list in the pre-rotation meta. My opponent is definitely going to have an advantage overall. And they have quite a few cards in the hand with building up with this Oricorio. I think I'm going to get knocked out here. We're just going to have to buy a turn and hope for the best. But Rapid Strike Malamar is definitely one of those matchups. Pre or post rotation, I think it's definitely going to be a tough matchup. I think maybe one of the few decks that keeps Malamar in check is that Urshifu. Without Urshifu, Malamar is really good. Malamar is very scarily good for sure. With Urshifu in the format like it is, I think it definitely keeps it in check a little bit, but very scary without. So I think we have to just go ahead and throw out a Marnie and then use Greening Cells or something on the next turn because, yeah, we're knocked out. That's it. Goodbye, Leafeon. And there's nothing I can do about it. We're just KO'd, one-hit KO. This is the power of Malamar. And like I said, I think it's actually Malamar is very, very strong. The only matchup that I think it kind of struggles against a little bit is that the only thing I think Malamar struggles against is Rapid Strike. But Rapid Strike also very good, obviously. So that is that's a pretty big matchup to have a rough time against for sure, to be honest. So we'll get the double quick shooting out. We can use Greening Cells at the end of the turn. Okay, so we're going to go like this. And like I said, in a tough spot. But we're going to see if we can't pull this one together. I've come back from tough spots before. Not impossible. Play the Marnie. Only from 5 to 4, so not a huge impact on their hand. Got the Grass Energy for turn, so we can attach that. Could throw out Galarian Mine. Doesn't seem necessary to do. And it would stop my Crobat from being able to move as well. That's just here. Do I even have a Grass? I think I have one Grass in the deck, yeah. Okay, quick shootings. We're going to put 20 on each Inkay that we could knock out the other Inkay if they don't evolve both of them. If they do evolve both of them next turn, we don't get to knock out anything. So that would stink, but hopefully they don't evolve both. Greening Cells. I could have evolved to the Drizzile to have access to another quick shooting or this, and I could have got a research, I guess, but I kind of want to combo what I want to get off the Drizzile with my top deck. Like if my top deck is a research, that I can go get a switch to move the Crobat. Or something like that, or if it's if they KO my Crobat and it's a Evolution Incense, then I can go get a research, or if it's a research, I can go get Evolution Incense, get out the Leafeon VMAX, and kind of go from there. So I like the idea of waiting to have kind of the option here. I won't be able to get out the quick shooting, a third quick shooting, but the third quick shooting shouldn't have a huge impact on their board state, I don't think, at this point. Of course, I'd be able to like KO something like a Mincino or a Sobble if it came down, but it looks like my opponent is maybe just playing Malamar Artillery with Oricorio. It looks like maybe they don't play Cincino or Inteleon, which I haven't seen before, but I definitely don't hate it. More space for just Pokemon search and being able to get your Pokemon set up more consistently can't be a bad thing. I wouldn't be surprised if they play like 2 Oricorio in here to make sure it doesn't get prized. Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I do kind of like the idea of a little bit of extra draw power from somewhere to be able to build up your hand a little bit higher, but yeah, I like the idea. Definitely working out for them this game so far. That first big one-hit KO definitely has set me behind quite a bit. And I don't think I'm going to be able to recover. I'm going to try. It's going to be a tough recovery path here. Okay, there's a Mincino. So they do play the Cincino to help with more draw power. That's what I was thinking. I was thinking maybe they haven't just haven't found it yet. And there's the knockout. We can also... Oh, no, they whiffed the knockout. So only 120 on my Crobat. How can we abuse this? What can we do to give ourselves an advantage here from this situation? Is there an advantage to be gained by 2 grass energy are here? So I can only attack with 1 more Leafeon for the rest of the game. I could set up a Inteleon to be able to use Waterfall with. That's an option here. I think I'm going to go ahead and grab the Sobble. If I get my last Drizzile out of the prize cards here, I'm going to want that as well. I'm going to evolve to the Drizzile and go get a Research, I think. And once again, not going to put my Stadium in play because it really isn't going to hinder my opponent too much to have my Stadium in play, I don't think. Although, I could maybe go... They do play Scoop Up Nat, so I mean, I could go like Boss the Oricorio. Maybe I should have been... I could have Boss Oricorio, trap it in the active with the Glare Mine, maybe. All right, I'm starting to kind of piece something together here that could work. That might work. I don't know. Either way, got the Glare Mine now. Gonna play the Research. And have 2 Glare Mines left to work with as well. And I'm sure they have some Stadiums. I'm gonna go ahead and evolve this as well, I think, just to get it into the VMAX. Quick shooting. We're gonna KO this Inkay before it is able to evolve. And I believe... Near was last turn. Ooh, I would let my opponent draw cards, actually, if I do KO this. Maybe I don't want to KO this, actually. I might just want to snipe, put an extra snipe there, and then snipe somewhere else. Because KOing this doesn't actually seem like the best thing in the world. Yeah, I don't love the idea of KOing this now. I could also switch to the Sobble. Let my opponent KO that for turn if they want to get a KO. Or even run to the... I can't really easily run to the VMAX, though. Let's go with... Yeah, I don't really want to give him prize card draw or card draw off of the Oricorio. So I think I'm going to go quick shooting the Mincino here. Play it a little bit slower. Let's see if we can put something together. Because we're in a bad spot, right? We're in a bad spot. Let's get a little bit creative here and see if we can't come up with something that makes my opponent work a little bit hard. Because I think just like knocking out this, giving him 3 more cards here, and then next turn taking a knockout with the Leafeon isn't going to set up in the best spot. I think if we play a little bit slower, can maybe do some kind of Boss Glare Mind play to trap the Oricorio. Do a lot of quick shootings. We wouldn't be able to use Grass Knot because then it would KO it, but we could just leave it there for a turn. Get some more quick shootings out there, and then maybe play a Marnie on the following turn if it does get stuck in the active, which there is a chance that it gets stuck in the active. They can't Scoop Up Net it, and who knows if they even play the Stadium? Who knows if they play the Tower? And if they don't, then maybe this is just stuck for a while, and that can kind of be what we hope for. That's what I'm going to go for here. We're going to see how it goes. They do play... Okay, they do play Tower of Waters, so we know they play Tower of Waters now, which makes things a little bit worse because they can get a Tower of Waters to bump this and go attach retreat, but they need the energy to do that, and they have a Psychic Energy here, and they have Spiral Energy, so it could still get stuck, and even if it doesn't, they would then have to still knock out my Leafeon. So another quick shooting down, more snipe damage, lost the Oricorio. I mean, I could just knock it out as well, knock out Cincino, knock out the active. Maybe that's enough to set me up in a decent spot. Should I just take that route? I don't hate this route as well. We can't win on the next turn, even if I KO the Mincino. Maybe if I had KO'd the Inkay last turn, but then I couldn't KO the Mincino this turn, I guess. It would take away a lot of draw power. I'm not against it. Let's go for it. Let's go for this. I've kind of changed up my mind here. We have this other route to look at now. Gonna KO the Mincino right now. Get a prize card to work with. Sobble? Or Drizzile is what I wanted, not Sobble. And then, yeah, Grass Knot for the knockout. Maybe they don't have a boss or a catcher to work with to KO my Sobble. We can maybe get the Drizzile here. That's not Drizzile. That's Drizzile. Okay, so now we could maybe go... What are we looking at here? How many Evolution Incense do I have left? 0. 0 level ball as well. All right, so... What are we looking at here? What are we looking at here? Here comes the catcher. Let's just see if they get the heads. And there's the heads. They should easily be able to KO my Sobble. Okay, we still had a route here, I think. I think we could have, like, switched into Intel. Depending on how hard they hit our Leafeon, we could maybe max Leaf to heal, and that might keep him out of range with a Marnie. Or we could have, you know, switched to an Inteleon. And this has 150, so if they hit this really hard, if they hit my Leafeon really hard, we could have switched to an Inteleon to stall for a turn while we snipe the bench Malamar and then KO 2 Malamars in one turn. We'll never know what we could have done because my opponent does get heads on the catcher. And yeah, that's going to do it for these games with the Leafeon deck. I hope you guys enjoyed them. I think Leafeon, there's a lot of potential for it to be a contender in this format. Maybe a tier 2 deck. I think a consistent tier 2 deck is what it's going to be. Doesn't have the power that the Urshifu and the Shadow Rider really have, which I think are probably the tier 1 decks right now. But I still think it's got a lot of potential for sure. And yeah, look out for the Leafeon. Definitely give it a try yourselves. If you guys like the video, as always, give it a like. If you're new here and enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe so you can see more. Hit the bell, and I'll see you in the next one.